What about dealing with all of the sort of mental kind of side of it, the spinning all the plates in your head and juggling? I'm doing the book, I'm hiring people, I'm off to Denver, I'm kind of off to mastermind events. Like, how do you deal with it all?
So there's a couple ways that I manage my energy. I have an ability for my brain to like switch. So I can literally go from one thing and immediately switch to another thing, which I know is very like, it drives my husband crazy because he can't keep up. He says I'm a tornado and he's behind me picking up all the pieces.
I believe
Literally,
that.
I believe it. But I have an ability to take information. So a lot of times, like Tuesdays are my days, usually when I don't treat. It hasn't been that way, but I had actually this week. And I just time block. So like if I have to get a lot of stuff done, I have a time block and I just like get it all done. And if there's like yesterday, there was an hour, there's a patient that canceled, and I have like my list of things that I need to get done. And so I'm like, oh, I have an hour. I'm just going to go and start working on this. So like I was working on my CEO document yesterday because someone canceled and moved. And so I was like, cool, I'll get this done so I don't have to do it this weekend. So it's just knowing how to manage your time a little bit. Time blocking is huge so that you can like get a lot of stuff. Cause if I'm going to be creative with writing stuff, I have to have like a 3-hour period of time.
Yeah. I love it. A couple of questions, last couple on PPM. What was your biggest takeaways? What was your favorite thing? What did you learn from it?
My favorite was like James Lawrence. Honestly, I think you look at all the stuff that he's done, like just the mental toughness that you have to be able to do 50 marathons in 50 states in 50 days. Like that's just insane. And that your mind can get you through that. It just makes me feel like anytime I come up with like a struggle of any sort, I'm like, is it really a struggle? I just have to think of his story and I'm like, okay, it could be way worse.
Yeah,
it's really not. It's not. And then just knowing like one of the things that he said, like the resilience that you get is from all your struggles in your past. You're learning from all those things, and that's what makes you resilient. So that's kind of what I also think as well when I hit up against something. So I loved his talk. It was great. Damon John, I loved, like everyone says, the 27 summers. It's just like, just live your life, make sure that you're living it. And that's one thing that I try to do. That was one thing when my dad passed away. I was like, work is not that important, and I need to get my priorities straight. And so I take time. I do fun things. I do fun things with my friends. I do fun things with my husband. And we travel all the time. So I love stuff like that. And I think also the thing that he said too was, you'll have people in your business that will come in and they get their job done, but that's about, there's nothing that will be above and beyond that they might do. That if any other kind of situations where you need to downsize, you're going to rework something, those are the people that'll be out of your business. And that's essentially kind of what happened.
Yeah, it is. It's a sign that your life is growing. When I loved it when he started speaking about losing friends on purpose, if you like. You're just growing too fast for people around you, and their sort of negativity. You don't have to keep that in your life. You can be civil, but it's not your obligation to deal with all of their their inability to sort that out, if you like. And I love that. But we live in a guilt-ridden world where everybody feels like they have to do stuff because it just invokes guilt when you even consider that you're going to walk away from a friend or family, even if they're bringing you down every time you walk into the room. And I love that, the brutal candor in that. It was just, no, it's my life and I'm living it. And if you want to play, we'll play. If you don't, then you need to go and play with the negative kids. But you're not hanging around with me anymore. And it is such a thing that you'll find in business as well. You're going to grow so fast and you're going to move the business on so quickly. It'll be very difficult to kind of hang on to everybody. Lots will come with you and they'll stay on the journey, but some quite simply won't, because you're going so fast. And like you said, you haven't got that much time to play with, really. Mm-hmm. I used it on Monday on Halloween with the kids. I got home, I was a bit tired, and I thought, do I want to? Like, as much as I always wait, it was just a slight moment in my head. I was like, I'd love to just put my feet up tonight. And I looked at Harry and I thought, I've probably only got five more Halloweens with his kids, like 4 at best, before he's off and doing his own. And then immediately you're like, oh shit, no, enjoy this. you've got a 9-year-old kid who within 4 years is going to be saying, Dad, I want to go off with my mates, and I'm doing this with
4 more summers,
4 more Halloweens, basically. Exactly. And that's what I said. I was like, 4 more Halloweens. That's it with this kid. 4 more Halloweens as a family before he wants to do his own thing. And then I ain't seen him. He's coming in at whatever time because he's been out with his friends, and rightly so at that age. I'm not going to be telling him to come out with his baby brothers and, doing whatever. He's going to be able to live his own life. But sadly, it'll only be 3 or 4 more Halloweens for me before he doesn't want to hang out with us, and then you're like, oh shit, like, yes, this real kid, like, let's not waste any of these golden opportunities to live your life. And if you apply that at every level, everything that you think about, all of a sudden it changes your energy, your motivation for it. Yeah, it changes you're right, your perspective changes your motivation. I think that's a big thing now, that you change your view of it, and you're like, actually, that makes
that's life. That's like even in business, you have to change your view on things to get through some stuff, because if not, you're going to get stuck at where you are.
Yeah, I love it. Stefani, you're a star. It's been a fantastic conversation. Thank you. Great discussion on people, and I think, again, just make sure you never lose that. I don't think you ever will. It sounds like it's in your DNA, the energy that you've got for life, and the zest that you have for it. It's magical, and people need to be sprinkled with it a bit more, which is why I love getting you on the podcast. Just for what better way to spend Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock? I often think, what was I supposed to be doing? I was in Alabama yesterday, right? And I was sat in the bar last night at the airport in Alabama in Huntsville. And I'm sat there with a nice IPA. I'm looking out onto the runway. It's a gorgeous sunset. Well, this is an interesting one for you, right? As I was coming home, I haven't kind of gone through this other than last night as I was on the flight. So I'm sat in Alabama, and it's just this gorgeous sunset. Around about 6 o'clock, the sun's going down. I'm thinking, God, I remember seeing a comment once that said, if you don't know what day it is or what country you're in, you're living a great life, or what state you're in. And I honestly live that life. I'm like, what day is it? What season is it? Right? Because since I live in Florida, I have no clue what season it is. I have no clue half the time what state I wake up in and what time zone I'm in. And last night it hit me again. I'm sat there with my feet up in the bar with a nice IPA, looking out onto the sun, onto the runway, watching the planes go. Then I got on a plane, right? This sums fucking life up, right? I swear this sums life up. I got on the plane, and there I was, right? Not one person had the windows. Not one person had the windows up, right? And they did it on the flight out, and it was a gorgeous day when I flew out of Orlando, right? It was a similar time where it was a beautiful evening, so you had a gorgeous sunset over the city, if you like. I'm like, why do these fuckers not have the windows open? Like, what's going so wrong that they don't even want to look out? You're about to take off and fly through over a gorgeous sunset, right, in Alabama, where there's mountains and all sorts of shit, which is beautiful. So I looked at the woman next to me and I went, any chance you can open that window, or even just one of them? And she went, oh, yeah, sorry, I never thought. And I'm like, no wonder, because you sat on fucking Instagram, right, looking at every single angle of every picture that's in your news feed, staring and judging the shit out of everybody, probably. Meanwhile, we're about to get on a flight, right, on a random Wednesday night. Got the most beautiful sunset you've ever seen. Not one cloud in the sky in Alabama, and we're going to take off through it, right? At literally 7:05 as the sun's going down at 7:08. Like, do you think you could put it up just so we can watch this? This might be quite nice. This is a beautiful, natural, joyous thing. That, like, what's like? But this is the people are just like brain dead half the time. They just don't appreciate. I think this is half the problem. You pointed out to her, and then she's looking at it every minute for the next 10-15 minutes, taking pictures, and I'm like, dude, surely, no, obviously not. But anyway, I'm sat last night in the bar thinking, I don't know what day it is. I don't even know where I'm at. I don't know what time zone I'm in. My clock's still on Eastern, but I'm in another time zone, and I'm thinking, this is just the most amazing life. It really, really is. And here I am on what day is it? Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock, interviewing Stefani, and I'm having the time of my life. And you think, yeah, you've
it's gratitude.
It is. You've nailed
it's gratitude. People need more of it, and be thankful for where they are in life. And it always could be worse. Always.
Thank you very, very much. You're a star, and we will definitely have you back on the podcast early next year at some point. You can keep giving us your updates on your business and your life. Thank you. Thanks for watching this video. And if you found it helpful, and if you now find yourself thinking, I wonder what else this person can help me with, head over to paulgough.com/books, where you can find my best-selling books, which will show you how to add more profit to your practice. Or Send an email to paul@paulgough.com to ask about how we can help you accelerate the growth and profitability of your clinic. And by the way, if you know anybody who would find this helpful, please share this video out. Thanks so much.